The ascension of a new Prime Minister in Britain has raised both fears and hopes that the country might leave the European Union, EU cold turkey with no trade agreement in place, no political pact, not even a framework for further talks. What does this mean for the UK? Preetha Manivanan reports.
Thank you, Helena. Boris Johnson insists that while he intends to hammer out a better agreement, Britain will leave the EU by October 31st, even if it means exiting without a deal. Now, there are far more questions than answers available, but this is what we know. Belonging to the EU radically simplifies that no trade or migration barriers between member countries, no differences in product rules, and unified trade pacts with the rest of the world. Now, leaving abruptly without a deal would mean new customs and tariff barriers and would put Britain under the World Trade Organization trading rules, which economists say are less advantageous and do not fill in all the relevant blanks. Various policies and systems would have to be built from scratch, while long-term agreements are negotiated with the EU, the US, and every other trading partner, which would basically take years, causing deep, lasting harm to Britain. Even a careful, orderly departure like the one proposed by former Prime Minister Theresa May would depress economic growth compared to staying in the EU. In fact, since voters approved Brexit 3 years ago, the mere prospect of it has harmed the British economy as it prods companies, investors and job seekers to go elsewhere. Experts warn that crashing out of the bloc without a plan could bring travel disruptions and shortages of food, medicine and other goods. But many ardent Brexiteers, including Johnson himself, insist that such fears are overblown, saying that negotiating its own trade deals, immigration policies and stop paying into the EU will benefit Britain in the long run. Now, Parliament opposes a no-deal exit, the only clear statement on Brexit that the Parliament has ever been able to make. Meanwhile, EU leaders have repeatedly said that they will not reopen negotiations and that the deal they reached with Theresa May is the only one they will consider. But if Johnson is serious about leaving without a deal, all he has to do is nothing at all. As things stand, the country will leave the EU on October 31st, whether there is any agreement in place or not under the current British law. That's all I have now. Back to you, Helena.